Hello everyone, this is Victor Fitzgerald, the Technology Committee Chairman of SIGML. What I want to talk to you today is a little bit about what we've been doing for the past year, and then I will turn it over to Camilla, Elliot, Karen, Roland, and Cliff to answer some of your questions if you should have any. Let's get started. The first and most significant change over the last few months has been the creation of our new wiki. At the beginning of my term as Technology Chairman, I started out with a wiki that looked very similar to the one on the upper right-hand portion of the screen. What we first started doing is actually looking to see if we could add some additional functionality. We wanted to add doc shots, we wanted Google Analytics, we wanted some more in-depth kind of jQuery tools, things of that nature. So we started playing around with the template and design of our wiki. When we started doing that, we noticed that our wiki was actually very small. It was only about 800 pixels across. So our first implementation was to actually expand and very quickly add the functionality that we want, which turned into this wiki. Some of you may have seen that over the last few months. It was our first major change, and it brought about a large amount of criticism and feedback, which was great because it actually helped us to create what we have now. This was our working area. We started with it, and it has since changed to a new and more coherent design. We added a new color scheme to SIGML, we added a whole bunch of graphics to make it more engaging, and improve the navigation system so that it's easier to find the material that you want. On the wiki, nothing should be more than 3 clicks away from our home screen. With that, we've been doing a lot to make sure that we live up to the name of mobile learning. And what you'll see when you go to our wiki, which if you have never been there before, is sigml.iste.wikispaces.net. When you enter that in and hit enter, what you will see is your browser will do a couple different things. And it will actually gauge the screen size that you are using. So if you're doing that on a mobile device, what it will actually do is redirect you to the SIGML mobile website. Our first mobile website was pretty straightforward, had very few buttons, and a design that was aesthetically pleasing but not very unique. It had all of the tools and information we wanted to provide. But when we got a new coherent color scheme and a new method of presenting our information, that mobile website changed to what it is now. So if you enter this in your mobile device, sigml.iste.wikispaces.net, you'll be directed to a website that looks like this. As you can see, there's very little instruction. What you're going to have to do is actually play around with it. It's fairly intuitive. Once you click on a few of the buttons, you'll realize how things work and actually find a good deal of information, fill out forms for us, add additional information as well. So that is kind of the genesis of our wiki. Statistically speaking, what we're actually getting right now is about 1,800 unique visitors per month, which basically means if you went to our wiki in February and then went to it again in March, you would not be counted as a unique visitor because you've been there before. So with 1,800 unique visitors, that means that we are going through and generating almost 2,000 new members who are using our resources and seeing SIGML as a resource every month. Those 1,800 people are then creating about 3,000 unique page views, which means that when they get there, they don't just stop at looking at the SIGML homepage. They actually go a little bit further into our website, and to be honest, actually, our resources page is the most highly visited. Our second major project for the year was designing and implementing some databases. We wanted to make sure that they were not proprietary, and so we used Google Docs and tied that in using some HTML and a couple other coding languages to get some databases that are searchable on our wiki. So we can use form submissions through Google Docs and then search for them through some HTML code. Right now, actually, we have very few submissions, with only 67 submissions in total. What we need is more submissions from you, our members. As we gain more submissions, this will become more of a resource for our members and for our leadership team to use as we determine where we're going. If you haven't seen our databases, the top QR code on this page will take you directly to them. The last thing I want to do before I turn it over for questions is actually give a big thank you to everybody who's been helping me through this process. I already threw out a lot of their names, but I'd like to thank them all. Elliot for being such a great leader this year and allowing us the freedom to create these resources. Cliff and Roland for both being members of my technology committee and bouncing ideas, and Karen for all of your input in critiquing design and layout, and Camilla for helping present the wiki information to the leadership team yesterday. So I would like to thank you all for all of your participation and all of the members of the steering committee. If all of you who have volunteered to help me or to help in any capacity would please stand, because you definitely deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much for all that you do, and I'd now like to turn the floor back over to Elliot.